morning, everyone. My name is Zach, and today we're going to be doing the long-awaited video of me exposing what exactly happened to me with Ford and the Ford delivery driver at literally stealing my truck. Beautiful day. I'm going to go find a cool spot to talk to you guys. I'm going to show you all the text messages, all the phone calls, and the police reports we went through. The full story of what happened and why it took 2.5 weeks to get my car to me. But without further ado, look at how beautiful she is. She's legal. I just got plates on her. Those won't be staying long though. I'll be getting custom ones soon. But damn, she looks good. All right, I'm gonna come at this spot and switch up. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little backstory of why I'm making this video and what exactly happened if you don't already know what happened. So I purchased this car over 2 weeks ago online. I did not see the car in person. I'm in Florida and the car was in Massachusetts. Like I said, I would have flown out there and drove it back, but it didn't make sense because I was traveling a lot and that would really conflict with my flights and everything like that. But the point of the matter is, I bought it in Massachusetts. I paid them the day, didn't waste anyone's time. I said I want it delivered this date. I'll pay you today, no worries. I'll cover all the fees, whatever. Because this car was a really, really good price. And I haven't even seen the car yet, so you can understand like how I would already be nervous and how I would already be conflicted with doing this in the first place. Because one, I've never bought a brand new car before. This car has 900 miles on it. It's a 2019. And two, I didn't understand why someone would buy a 2019 Mustang GT and return it after 900 miles. So I was already really conflicted on whether I should be doing this, but I went ahead and pulled the trigger. A week goes by. I didn't really talk to them much. I was really, really busy. As stupid as that sounds, I was really busy. I did keep in touch with them at least like once a day, like, how's the car going? Can you send me some pictures? Because I just wanted to make sure they were keeping it in their showroom so it wouldn't be, you know, completely. On that Thursday of that week, this is 4 days after I bought the car was supposed to be getting picked up that day, and they told me that the shipping company got screwed over because it's Memorial Day weekend and it's really busy and they can't get here in time. The shipping company was Safeway Express, so I'm like, okay, give me their numbers, let's work something out. Gave her the numbers, we exchanged numbers, blah blah blah. Everything's fine, and then they picked the car up finally. I think I get another 4 days. It's been 8 days since I picked up the car. They pick up the car, load it on the truck, and they say, okay, we're on our way, we're gonna be here by Sunday. And I'm like, okay, cool. Then they start, the day after that, they start saying, oh, it's Saturday. And they're like, oh, we can't, you know, overnight this car. I'm like, what do you mean overnight? You should have been driving through the night like you said you would. And they give me excuse after excuse after excuse, whether it was a flat tire, whether it was traffic, whether they had to switch drivers, whether they had to switch trucks, whether they were doing picking up another car, whether they were dropping off another car, you know, excuse after excuse after excuse. And then eventually they start actually going. And this is when I thought, okay, we're in the clear. We weren't in the clear. Okay, so this is where stuff really hits the fan. This is where we had to call the sheriffs, the Federal Department of Motor Vehicles, literally anyone that could help us trace down this car. And it got really, really nasty really quick. I'm gonna read these texts directly from you from when the chaos began and when it actually ended. So on the 24th, the car was picked up. The car was fine, like I said, like we're to the point where I think I'm getting the car, and then like I said, excuses start flying. Every day the car is late, and mind you, I'm literally flying out of town a few days after when I said I needed the car. So at this point, when I start asking questions, the delivery people start getting nasty with me. Mind you, the delivery driver doesn't speak English. There's no tracker, live tracker on the vehicle, and they have no idea why he was in one of the most southern parts of Florida. I mean, I'm in South Florida, but where no route would have ever taken him. They don't know this, they claim. I figured he's probably running drugs or something like that, or trying to steal the car, which eventually comes out to be true. Excuses, more exciting. They don't reply to our text. Like, we have to triple, quadruple text them every time, or they won't reply to our text. A few days after this, I still don't have the car. It's now nearly 2 weeks before I even gotten any news or gotten to know where the car actually is. So this is the point where we just called the Florida Department of Motor Vehicles and the Federal Department of Motor Vehicles about everything, and put on a complaint for the delivery people and the dealership. So they both gave their sides, whatever. Nothing happens there. The day after this, they say the driver is in a place called Ingles, Florida. I've never heard of Ingles. I doubt you have either. It's this really, really, really small town in the middle of nowhere, and near North Tampa. So this is when I knew some sketchy stuff is going on. Obviously, like, some absolute sketchy stuff is going on. Like, they either stole my car, they're running drugs in the car, they're driving the car around without my consent, or their excuses are actually real, which obviously they aren't. I lost all faith. I got the location of the car from a third party that works at Safeway Express, that was like kind of our insider and thought what they were doing was wrong, even though they work for the company. So they sent us the exact location of the car, because they did actually have a tracker on the car, and they didn't know we were coming. So we pulled up. We found out they were 3 hours from where I live. So we're pulling down I-75, going as fast as we can. In that process, we're actually calling all of the local the county sheriffs around that area, because we don't know what we're getting into. Like, are we gonna have to go in there guns blazing, blah blah blah? I don't want to deal with it. I just want my car at this point. I don't care what it costs. I don't care what happens to anyone. I just want my car. And I've actually lost it at this point. Like, I'm going crazy. Like, this is ridiculous. I want a full refund. I'm never dealing with Ford ever again, blah blah blah. So tensions were really, really, really high. I was calling all my friends in the sheriff's department, like I said, and eventually we got to Ingles, Florida. The trailer was at a strip bar. I found it. We just hunted down this guy. There's literally cops here. And a food supermarket right next door. We pulled up. The guy wasn't in the delivery truck, so we're like, all right, we're taking the car. We got into the delivery truck. Mind you, the police are here. We got the keys for all of the other cars on the truck. There was a 69 Corvette maybe on the back. There was a minivan, and then this was my car, of course, tucked away. As soon as I got in there, I looked at the Odo, and of course there was miles on the car that weren't supposed to be there. So we're literally repoing this car ourselves with the sheriff's office, and as soon as the guy comes out, he comes out and starts screaming in, like Portuguese or Spanish or whatever, and starts freaking out, like, why are you taking my car? I just want paid. Because the delivery people, how they work is you pay them half for the fee of delivering the car, and then when you get the car, you pay the other half. And what the delivery driver didn't know is that the other half of the money was under this passenger seat in this car. So he got in there, tried to take the money, and then it was a big brothel, big fight. And essentially what happened was the cops told him to calm down. The cops told him, you know what, we're taking this car. You work out with your bosses, why you're not getting paid. Clearly you tried to steal the car. So I filled out a police report and another report with the Florida Department of Motor Vehicles. And it was just a crazy show. I'll try to put as many clips in as I can, but as there is an ongoing investigation into it, I can't give you a lot of details. I can't show you all of the videos, especially the ones with the police in them. It's really tight right now, and I just want to get my money back. They screwed me for thousands of dollars. As you know, this car is supposed to be making YouTube videos with me. I get paid for making these videos, obviously, and those 2 weeks I probably lost up to $9,000 in view revenue. So that's pretty ridiculous. I just want my money back for the delivery. The delivery guys are never getting paid. I don't care what they say, never getting paid. This car was in 4 or 5 different states without any tracking, and it was just all over the place. The delivery driver literally stole my car. And the Ford dealership refuses to comment on this subject. I do have a friend there that is trying to, negotiate some money back from me, because that is ridiculous. It's not my fault for that you hire these illegal delivery drivers, which I did, by the way. If the delivery company is watching this, I did file a report, because I know that guy that was driving the delivery truck was not legal in the United States, and neither did the cops. He had no ID, no nothing. So the cops and I filled out, an ICE report. If you guys want to steal my car and think it's funny and then post about it and say, oh, it's on our fault, and play the victim card, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to dig into your company and I'm going to root it out. I'm sorry, like, that sounds really, really hostile, but the amount of stress and pain that I worked for this car, considering this car has a window sticker of $48,000, and I paid that in full. I paid that in full. Obviously I didn't pay 48, but what I paid for the car in full, instant transfer to the dealership, and I didn't get the car when I was promised. I got it 2 weeks after I was promised the car. My frustration was just, it really killed it. And the fact that I had to run down the highway with the sheriffs just to trace down this car is beyond ridiculous. And the delivery company, Safeway Express, you should be ashamed of yourselves, and the Ford dealership that was involved, you should also be ashamed of yourself. I'm not going to name the Ford dealership, but I will obviously name the delivery company, Safeway Express. It's just the worst experience I've ever heard of. I posted this in Mustang forums and everything like that, and everyone said, yeah, Florida delivery people are horrible, and Safeway Express is like the cheapest. They just take the cheapest and screw you over, and this is nothing new. So it was just pathetic, honestly, that I had to go through this. I don't know, guys. I just wanted to get this video out ASAP. Obviously, I will be doing mods to the car here soon. I already have a bunch of parts in. I can tell you what's going first is we're going to get rid of these nasty things right here and right here, and maybe something on the windshield. You guys probably know what I'm talking about, but you'll have to see. And I have some emblems and stuff we'll be throwing on the car, and then lowering springs and spacers, of course. Everything like that, you're just gonna have to see. I have a lot of surprises for this car. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I will be uploading every single day the entire summer, in the entire span of my YouTube of building this car. I promise you I'll make it different than other car YouTubers. I live on an island. I live a crazy life, so this just adds to it. And yeah, like I said, if you're not subscribed, you really should. Like I said, don't go and slander Safeway Express. Don't go and slander Ford. Obviously this is a really, really, really bad apple out of a bunch of good apples. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I will keep you guys updated on the investigation, of course, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.